Good morning, kids. All right, so little painters, today we are going to paint this little guy from Finding Nemo, and we're going to call it Keep On Swimming. So you're going to need a few colors, not too much though. If you don't have brown, what I've heard, and you can get your big person to do this, grab a little bit of each color of paint, yellow, blue, white, and red, and maybe even a little bit of black, just a little bit of each, and stir them all together on a separate plate, and then it should turn to brown. So that's what I've heard. I don't know, I've never tried it, but so what I've got for mine, I've got blue, yellow, and white for the water. I've got black for around his eyes, and a little bit of brown for his turtle shell. This blue and yellow we are going to make green out of. That's why we don't have green. But if your big person has bought you green, then you go ahead and just use the green instead of making green. It's so much easier. All right, so also 3 brushes. I've got a big brush. I've got a medium-sized brush. This one here. Oh, look at me trying to do things with one hand. Sometimes it's just easier to put everything down. So I have a big brush. I have a medium brush. Mine has an angle on it, but you don't have to have an angle. So you got your big brush. You got your angle brush or a medium one, just has to be smaller. And then I have this round one, just for drawing the lines around. It can be a little smaller than that, but don't want it to be too much bigger, but use whatever you have, okay? So let's get started. I'm going to take that round brush, and I don't know if you guys have chalk, different colored chalk, because it's easier if you have chalk and you can just wipe it off. Let me first of all turn this so you're not looking at me, but you're in fact looking at the canvas. There you go. Now you don't have to look at me anymore. So my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, again, trying to do things with one hand, it's not so easy. We're going to start off by doing his face, and with his face, it's basically a circle. His chin goes around, goes through where the eyes are, and comes around. So it's going to be a circle here, leaving a little bit of room for his turtle shell, not too much. And then later, we're going to make his eyes a little round past the circle. But to start with, we're going to make a circle, and I'm going to do mine with gray. So I'm going to take, whenever you guys, here's my rule. Whenever you go into your paint, don't go right into the middle. Just go to the edge so that you leave some pure color. I'm going to take a little bit of white and move it to the middle, and then I'm going to take a little bit of black, and I'm going to make some gray. I don't want it to be too dark, because what's going to happen is later we're going to want to have some pure white for his eyeballs. See that white? And if we've got all different colors in there, grays and blues and stuff, you're never going to get white. You're going to have to use more paint, and then you'll run out of paint, and then you won't be able to paint with me anymore. I don't want that. So we're going to draw a circle right over here, leaving room for his turtle shell. You can go a little higher if you want. And if it's not a big enough circle, you can always make it bigger. We're going to cover it with paint. So I'm going to start right here, and I'm going to make a circle. Maybe it's not a perfect circle. Mine's not a perfect circle. We're going to adjust that with paint. So it doesn't matter if it's not perfect. Nothing's perfect. Okay, so there you go. See? Nice little sort of a circle. Once we start coloring that green, we can make it bigger. We can make it smaller. Now we have to do some eyeballs. So we are going to start like this. We're going to make, I don't know if you know what brackets are yet, but it's like a sideways smile. So right here, I'm going to do a sideways smile. And then on the other side, it's going to look like a baseball. Oh my goodness. And then we're going to do another sideways smile over here. Make sure you've got them on an angle, not straight up and down, because that's going to have him looking sideways. Okay. And then from there, we're just going to make this sideways smile into another circle. See how we did that? Sideways smile. And we're just going to make that into a circle. Looks pretty funny, doesn't it? Yep, it does look pretty funny, but that's okay. Not gonna worry about it. It's supposed to look like that. It's exactly what it's supposed to look. When you're done that part, then we're gonna do the back of his shell. It's up sort of right in where his eyeball is. See how high that is? So it's gonna be part about middle, and it's just gonna be like a little rainbow. And then down here under his chin, it's gonna be a smile. There, smile. And then we are going to draw his neck. So coming over here, not all the way across to where his eye is, but just where his chin is, we're drawing a little straight line, not too much. Not too much. And then we're going to draw another smile. Another smile over to here. Right over to his turtle shell. And then we are going to go down a little bit farther on that line, just a little bit, not much. And it's going to go just like the outside of this eyeball. That's what we're going to make, and that's going to be his front flipper. So come down a little bit and then go, ooh. There you go, there's his front flipper. And we'll just make that a little smooth by bending it so it's not so straight. And then on this side, we're going to do another little line. A little bit longer than that one. A little bit longer. And then we're going to do the other side. Now it's going to kind of look like a leaf when we're finished. Ooh. There you go. Look at that. There's your flipper. And this flipper here, we're going to start right here. And we're going to do sort of one of those little swoopy things. One of those little sideways smiles. It's going to go in and we're going to bring it to the other way, sideways smile, and then swoop it out. It doesn't need to go to the bottom. But there you go. There's all the marks that you need right now. That is the outline of your turtle. So if you want his neck to be a little longer, then you just bring it down that far. Then he's got more of a neck there. But for there, that is the background that you need. And then we can go into some colors. So we want this to dry the eyes. So I'm going to go with the straight white first before I do anything else. I'm going to take my medium sized brush and I'm going to color inside of those eyes all white, covering up that little gray line that I made. If that gray line is wet, you're going to get your big person to use a blow dryer and dry it first. Otherwise, you're just going to be having gray all through your eyeballs. So going on there, I see everything. All right. So there you go. That eye is all covered in white. We don't want that to be really thick. We just want it to be white. So if you've got globby lines in there of thick paint, smooth them out and move it over there. So grab your globby lines like this and move them over to the other eye so that it's nice and thin but white. Okay, cover up all the gray. You can leave a little bit at the edge so you can see where the outside of the eyeball is. Get rid of all those globby lines. Just smoothing it around in there. If it's not really, you can still see some of that, that line. Once this is dry, which it won't take very long if you get rid of all those globby lines, then we can go and do some more white. But we want that to dry first because we have to put brown in there and then black. So we want that to be as dry as possible. So we're doing that part first. Now, we are going to make green. If you have two different colors of green at home, a light green and a dark green, there's dark green areas and there's light green areas. If you don't have green, you're going to follow me. So I have my blue and my yellow. So in this part, I'm going to make some dark green. Just taking a little bit of blue, not a whole bunch, just a little bit of blue. And on the edge of my yellow, not right in the middle, at the edge, I'm going to take some and I'm going to put it in there and I'm going to stir it up. Look at that nice dark green color. There you go. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to go around his eyeball just on this side, not the outside, just on the inside, and then his face, around by his neck. Watch what I'm doing. Don't do anything that I'm not doing because we don't need green on the outside. I don't have any green out here, see? It stops. We're basically coloring in our turtle now, so don't go on the outside. And then I'm going to do his head up here. Oh, I made his head a little bit pointy, but that's okay. I think they are a little bit pointy. Now, one thing about the turtle, on his head here, he's got a little eyebrow mark here. So we are going to make another dark green line. So just above here, we're going to go up and bring it back into the eye. Kind of looks like an eyebrow here. And then bring it there. Okay, so now he kind of has eyebrows. That's all we do for the dark green there. And then you're going to outline all these gray lines that you made. You're going to go over them now with some dark green. Okay, because he's a green turtle. He doesn't need to be a gray turtle. And don't worry about these lines that crisscross here in the center. You just want to do that bottom one. It doesn't have to go right through past here. We're going to do this line. Watch what lines I do right here. I drew these lines to go right across. Remember, right across here? That was only so you knew how to draw his neckline. We don't have to go over those lines. If you do, it's okay. Oh, and that's going to be his turtle shell. So that's going to be brown. So just here, just that part. Well, maybe you got to do the whole thing. That's right, because that's going to be brown. All right, so now that we've got those dark parts there, I am going to do a little bit of blobbing right here under the neck. So I'm just cleaning my brush off just a little bit because that's going to be a shadow from his head. And a little bit here because that's going to be a shadow from his shell. See how I'm just blobbing it? I'm cleaning my brush off. And then a little bit right here. A little bit right here, like a triangle shape. Okay, doesn't have to be neat. Just clean off your brush. And that's there. Now all my brush is cleaned off with my dark green. Right. Throw some over there. We've got no more paint on there. So with our green pile that we have, we are going to take more yellow. Almost all of that yellow. Now see, if you went in the middle with that yellow, look how messy that is in the middle. Now if I want to use plain yellow, I don't have any more. So now I'm putting more yellow in, and that just makes my green lighter. If you're at home and you already have green, if you don't have two colors of green, a light green and a dark green, you can put a little bit of black in your green to make it dark, or a little bit of white in your green to make it lighter. So it's up to you. I do have to go to the white, so what am I going to do? Not in the middle. I'm going to go to the edge. I still have lots of green, lots of white that's not messed up for his eyes later. And I'm going to put some more white in here. Oh, now I have a very nice light green color. I love this color. But you want to have lots because you've got lots of turtle to cover up now, right? So we're going to start covering up that turtle. You can mess right up into that green that you made, that dark green. And kind of mix those together without making them disappear. See, I'm going over them and I'm not making them disappear. I'm just sort of scrubbing in there and making them blend together because I want to see his eyebrows. So I'm going to go all the way around those green parts. And just scrub a little bit when I get there. Not too hard. You don't want to ruin your brushes. Scrub a little bit. Just so that it's not so obvious, but it's still there. Okay? Now I'm going to walk away. I'm going to leave that. I'm going to go back with the big brush and get that. I'm just going to the edges of everything. Look how I covered over my mistake. See? Now you don't see it anymore. Going right up to that dark stuff that I make and just blob around and scribble a little bit. There we go. See how that's all kind of blending together? Big people, how you take care of your brushes when we're finished so that they last through this whole thing and you don't have to go shopping again. With mine, I just wash them with soap and water, warm soap and water. Don't drop these into the water because they're made of wood. I don't know if yours are. Mine are made of wood and then that's metal. So the water can get underneath that and then it can get in the wood and crack your wood, makes it swell up. That metal part gets loose or rusty. So I just wash the brush part and I wipe off the handle with just dish soap. And when I'm going to let them dry, I do this. Get a clean brush. When I'm going to let them dry, I squeeze all the water out. Squeeze all the water out so it's nice and pointy again. See how pointy that is? And I take dish soap, straight dish soap, right out of the bottle, push it into those fibers and leave it nice and sharp like that. See that? I can almost cut an orange with that. And then I let them dry that way. And then they stay nice and crisp and they're not all fluffed out. So now I'm going to blob my light inside with that dark. Just mix it all up, cover that all up in there. I'm going to have some sort of a shadow. This is fun. Okay, so I've got my edges done. Moving on to the next arm. Next flipper. Your eyeballs are drying. This is great. Eyeballs are drying while we're doing this. That's why I did them first, because next we're going to get into brown after we're finished with this green. Okay, so I'm going to my big brush now. And I'm going to finish coloring the rest of his face in here. And he's got a little bit down here. I lost my dark green. That's okay, I'll make some more. Okay, so if I want to have a little bit more dark green, I'm not doing any more green, so I'm just going to add a little more blue to that mixture. And I'm making some dark green, and then I can put some dark green back in here. Just blob it, make it messy. Doesn't have to be neat. Wherever you want to put that. Okay, there you go. That is your turtle body. Washing out my little round brush, because I don't remember what color I have gray in there. We are going to make his eyeballs now. So first ring color is going to be brown. So I have my round brush and I'm going into the brown. And I am going to be doing backward smile sideways, just like this outside edge here. But in the center, right in the middle. So I'm going to go around like that. And on the other side, same thing, in the middle. So it's nice and even around. And then I've got to do one more inside of there. So starting right at the top where it meets here, I'm going to start here and I'm going to go around, and that's almost a full circle. Okay, my white's not quite dry. And then right here in the top, I'm going to do it, make a circle right there. It's okay if it's not perfect because we're going to paint black around that. So all this bottom part is now brown. So color that brown, and I can see that I want my black my black part in there to be bigger. So I will be making my black part bigger when I get there. My white is not dry on that side, so it's not dark enough for me. This side's darker because it was dry, but this side was not dry. Can you see the difference in color? Yeah. Okay, so with that brush, go into your black now. And you're going to color in that circle. Mine's not a very good circle, so I'm going to make it a good circle with my brush, and I'm going to make it bigger. So it starts right at the top there. And it's going to be a big black circle. On the other side too, it was probably gray. Start here, side of the shell, and then make that a circle. Pretty cute. This one's bigger than this one. I'm going to make this one just a little bigger because we can't make it smaller. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay. So if you have a blow dryer and you're having the same problems that I'm having with that not being dry enough, blow dry it so that the brown really shows. Because mine just keeps getting lighter because it's wet. I'm going to take my big brush, get all the green off of it. Or the medium brush. The medium brush, yes. This is a good one. Get all that off there. We're going to color his turtle shell. So, got to watch his eye here. So, we're going to go on the inside of his eye, on the outside of his eye, I mean, and then there's his back. So cover around his face. And then that line there that we drew. So now you can see where his shell is. Just going to color that all in brown. Make it nice and smooth if I can. There we go. This poor eye, this looks terrible. Stinking cute. Alright, so we have a little bit of brown. I'm going to take some extra white over here and I'm going to put it over here. I want to make some light brown. So I have a little bit of brown and a little bit of white mixed up. So I'm making a pile of light brown. And I'm just going to put some spots wherever on his head. You can do these in straight brown if you want. It's up to you. Doesn't matter how big, how messy they are. And they just come to sort of a point here. Looks like I need a big one right there. That's how you feel about it, right? Okay, little brush. Now we're going to give him some nostrils. There's 2 nostrils here and here. And then we're going to give him a smile and some little dimples for his cheeks. So his little nostrils are going to go in on an angle. Like so they sort of almost like you're going to be making an arrow. But they're a little far apart so that he can breathe. And then we do a smile first. So a real quick little smile. And then we do like brackets. That's a little half a smile and a little half a smile. There's his face. Oh my gosh, he's cute. All right. So what we want to do next, if this is all dry and you're happy with the brown and the black color that's in there, we're going to take our littlest brush with a little wooden end, or you can do it the front end. It's up to you. I'm going to dip it straight into the white. So I have white on the end of my brush. And I'm going to do a little dot right here in the right, top right of his black. Dab it a couple times so it's pretty big. And then in the top, in the right again, a couple of dabs till it's big. And then we're going to do 3 or 4 little dots just for the browns going up to the black. So start right in the side here and make a nice little lighter touch each time you go, and then they're smaller. So the first one you push hard, and then you go lighter, 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 and that's how they get smaller. And that's going to give his little eyes a shine. So push hard. Maybe it's dry, then you can put your finger on your painting and you can hold still. Push hard, lighter, lighter, lighter. And then you get little lines. Nice little dots, I should say. Yeah. So next, all we're going to do is we're going to make a shade of blue. We're going to color all the way around him. Well, you know what? Looks like he needs his green fixed just a little bit at his eyebrows before we start doing the blue. So I'm going to take some of that green and I'm just going to make that sort of join him a little bit. So I just give it a little curve there. All right, now he's done. So whatever you want to put down at the bottom, if you want to, like, I just took some purple here, you guys can see, and I just sort of mushed it in with my brush, purple and black and white, and that just made it look like a rock. If you want to have some seaweed, we've got lots of green, and I think it'll look really good with seaweed. So I'm going to take my big brush for now. No. My little brush, my medium brush. And I'm going to take and I'm going to make some water. So I'm going to take some of that blue because I've got way too much. You're going to need a lot though. And whatever white I've got left, maybe I'll put the blue right in the white. How's that? Just take a little bit at a time though. Put some of that blue in the white. You get a nice light blue color. And then you're going to take a little bit of yellow. It's okay if there's some green in there. And that's going to make a different color of blue. It's kind of greeny. I don't like it, so I'm going to put a little more blue in there so it's a little darker. Okay, I like that one. I like that color. All right. While you've still got that little medium-sized brush or your little brush, you are going to go around and you're going to trace on the outside. That might be just a little bit too close to the color. I think I'm going to have to put more blue in. Can't look too green or else you won't see your turtle. So, and you don't want to have it too dark either. But definitely want it to be a bluer color. Alright. That's better. Okay, so I'm going to trace around my turtle because I don't want to go over him with water. So go around all the edge of my turtle. Just like when we started and we were drawing the gray lines, now you're going to do blue just outside of those gray lines. And you go all the way around your turtle. And then later we'll go really fast, we'll go over with the blue brush, or the big brush. Okay, let's go up here. Go up on his head. Go around the top of his head. That's how I used to color when I was little. I'd do all the edges first and then I would color the inside in my coloring books. I don't know if that was right, but that's how I did it. Now that you've gone around his eye with the water, he looks kind of different now again, doesn't he? I grabbed a little brown there and made a bit of a mess, but that's okay. Now you can really see his eye. It's pretty cute. I hope yours is looking good too. I love it when you guys, excuse me, you guys send me pictures. I even got one, the whole family did it. Excuse me. If you make a mistake and you go over his eye a little bit, all you have to do is get your big brush to dry it, and then you can go back over it with some white. So don't get all upset if you go over the lines a little bit. And this one I'm going to put seaweed in instead of the rocks, the coral. Okay, so I've got all the basic parts covered up. So now I am going to go in and I'm going to do the most of it with the great big brush because it'll be faster. And I don't have to worry about scribbling on my turtle. I hope nobody's sick in your house. It's kind of scary times. It's sad that we can't go play with our friends, isn't it? Well, you've got the internet, so at least you can talk to your friends. When I was little, and I'm really old, I'm a grandma, we didn't have that. If this happened when I was a kid, oh my goodness, I'd have to play with my sisters. Didn't like my sisters when I was growing up. I love them now. We fought a lot when we were growing up. Not good. My poor parents. But we get along now. We love each other. We hang out and go traveling around the world together. They're like my best friends. Your parents gave you guys a gift when they gave you a brother or sister. Might not seem like it all the time, but you've got a built-in friend who's right in your house. What if you were the only kid? You'd have nobody to play games with. Kind of nice having a family. Oh, it's looking good. Water does not have to be all neat either. You can swish it around and make a mess on your canvas. A lot of stuff goes on underneath the ocean. Okay, so now I'm going to take a little bit of black and I'm going to take just a touch of black and I'm going to put it in my green. I might have to make some more. Take that there. Take a little blue. Make some green, and I'm going to take a little bit of black and I put that in there just so I got some nice dark green. Just a little at a time until I like the color. Didn't even wash my brush off. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to wiggle some lines down or up or whatever. Wiggle some lines down and it's just going to look like seaweed. Wiggle some up there. Just all wiggly, any old direction. Maybe it has a branch that comes off. It's kind of like building like a little garden down here. Maybe it goes like this and it comes behind him a little bit. Maybe a great big one comes up here. Isn't that fun? Whatever you want. There you go. It's all full. You can write "just keep swimming" like I did, or you can leave it. Writing words is hard. So I don't suggest that you do that. Okay. I wonder if I'm dry here yet. No, I'm not dry. I'm going to try putting a little bit more brown there though, because I like it a little darker. A little bit more there. Do you guys want to have bubbles? Take your little brush, and I showed you this one when we did the tutorial of the fish. And I don't have any white, but you can do it in white or blue. You're just going to draw circles. So you draw a circle, and then have a little circle beside it, like even right on it. And maybe you got a big one here, and a little one there, and maybe there's a little one that's attached to that one. There you go, and I have bubbles. And you can put them anywhere you want on there. All right, glad you guys came out. I'm going to see you next week or maybe in a couple of days, and I'll show you what we're painting. Okay, so probably in 2 days, this is what we're going to be painting. So you guys can paint yourself a little, there you go, change it. Little dinosaur for you guys to paint. I was going to paint something else with you guys. Just 1 minute. I almost forgot. We're going to need a little bit of red paint. So I'm going to grab some red. Red seems to be great. Oh boy, made a mess there. Okay, so I made a mess with my paint, but I have some red and some black and some green. I want you guys to take your tiny little brush, tiniest one you've got. And I went and I got a hard-boiled egg. This is what I'm doing for Easter. So I'm going to take all that green that I already have, and I'm going to take my brush, and I'm going to draw some lines up, different lengths. Maybe they're crisscrossing, they're not straight. Oops, don't have a whole bunch of paint on there. Just quickly draw some lines up. And they're going to crisscross over top of each other, but it's grass. So just like that, you can go all the way around your egg. Okay, can you guys see? Just have some grass on there. My light's pretty bright in here. I hope you guys can see that from there. I'm going to wash that brush off. And I'm going to go into some red. Maybe you have an egg carton at home. Mom and Dad have an egg carton at home. And you guys can use the egg carton to hold your egg while you paint. And I'm just going to do a red little oval on some of the grass. Like a little hump. You see that pretty clear? See that? Little hump. You can have one. You can have a whole bunch. I think I'm going to do one right here too. Oops, I got a lot of water in my brush, so I got to soak that up. I don't know. My brush was not very dry. All right, so the second one, I'm going to draw another little, just like a dot, but it's going to sit on the grass. Okay? Got 2 of those. And if you guys have a toothpick, that's probably going to be the easiest thing for you if you have a toothpick. I'm good with a brush because I use a brush all the time. But if you have a toothpick, you can put that in there and you can do a couple little dots right on your black and right at the top for the head. And we're making ladybugs. And she's got a couple little antennas. But we give her spots. So that is my ladybug Easter egg. I hope you guys can see that. I'm going to turn this light off and see if you can see that better. There. See? Little ladybugs on grass, on the eggs. Fun. You can paint eggs. If you can't get out and get some Easter egg dye because you're not allowed to go out to the store, you can just paint your eggs with your brush and have a blow dryer, and there you go. You've got painted eggs. All right. Happy Easter. We'll see you guys in a couple of days to paint the dinosaur. All right. Bye for now. Happy painting.